Hi there, you're welcome back once again to the Handmade YouTube channel. Today is a simple kimono gown that we're going to make today. I want to take you through the process where you can make a perfect keyhole design neckline like you see me now, and you turn the back of it. I also take you the process of making this elastic band that snatches the waist and also has a slit by both sides. It's a simple gown. Very simple shift dress with a cut together sleeve like so. If it's your first time of coming across my channel, please I would like you to subscribe for you to join the family, okay? And if you have done so, I have to thank you so much for sticking with me. It's a simple gown that anyone can have it to any occasion of your choice. As you can see how it looks on me, very beautiful. So I want you to wait and let's get to the table right away and start. The fabric we are using for today's tutorial is crepe fabric. I double folded my fabric to make it four-fold. I'm running out a starting line like so, and let me shift it forward for us to see that clearly. Here is the folded part. Both center, back and front are being cut together, and the full length of this gown is 16 inches length. Okay, it's half of my shoulder, which is 9.5 inches for my sleeve length. At that point, I have to come down by 1.5. Next is 3.5 inches for my neck width. Next one is my 3.5 inches for my front neck depth. I have to connect it like so, marking 1.5 inches for my back neck depth. And the next one we're going to do is just to connect this slant to the shoulder. And next one now, marking next 11 inches for my sleeve opening. At this point, I have to the line across like so. Next is my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 3 inches extra. I have to mark it, the measurement, take it all the way down to the full length of this gown like you see me do. Okay, I'm getting here. I'm trying to get the accurate measurement. And next one, at this point in the sleeve part, we have to go in by 1 inch and connect it to give it a perfect sleeve. Here I'm marking half length of 17 inches for my half length. Connect the line like so. Here we're going to determine where the belt will sit. At this point I have to come down by 1.5 inches and mark it. Watch it. At this point come down by 1.5 inches and come out by 1 inch. Okay, I have to mark my elastic is 2 inches width. I'm marking the 2 inches width there, and you can see how I placed my elastic, marking 0.5 inches all around for the seam allowance, and connect the line in a straight line. Next one is to cut the back bodice first, and at the shoulder side you have to leave 0.5 inches for the seam allowance. Cutting it like so, you're almost done for this. And like I said, it's a simple gown. If you have watched this point, I have to thank you, and thank you so much. Share my video to as many that are interested. Okay, that will help a lot for the growth of the channel. Then the next one I'm going to do now is for me to separate the both bodies to work on the front side. Okay, and I'm done with that. The next one is to cut out the front neck depth. And after cutting that, and at this point you come down by 4 inches, divide it by 2. Okay, and at the center I mark that, and that center I have to mark 0.5 inches there. Okay, we're going to connect a perfect keyhole curve. This is how you can do that without a curved ruler. This is how I do how I connect it like so. And the next one, I have already put the inner facing on fold like I was showing you, placing the front neck line there, and trace out the shape there first. Okay, and at the point where I come down by 4 inches, I have to transfer it to the inner facing like so. I have to remove the front neckline first. Then I work on the width that I'm adding here is 3.5 inches width, and at this point I have to come down by 3.5 inches and come out by 2 inches and connect it like so. I have a tutorials on how I make all those the inner facing for my boo gown. Is very easy to achieve. And when we are done with that, I have to pair them together like so, mark them together and give it a notch at this point. I'm not separating them, I'm not splitting it, okay? At the point where I notch them, I have to place it this way, okay? I mark the 4 inches down, okay? This is, I'm working on the inner facing now, and also come out by 0.5 inches, like so. I'll curve it this way and also transfer it to the other side as well. We're going to the machine to do that. What next? I'm marking the back inner facing is on fold now, marking 3.5 inches for the width and cut it out. The next one is for the strap for this. The strap, I'm cutting 3 inches fold for the strap. When you open it is 6 inches, but when it's unfold this length 14 inches, when you open it is 28 inches. But I will explain to you better when you get there. You see this extension, I'm going to bring it inward like so and place the and mark out my elastic where my elastic will sit. 14 inches is what I'll mark out there. For this, I'm going to cut it out. My elastic of 14 inches. I double the strap 14 inch times 2 and cut it out on strap. Now, when it's unfold is 3 inches, okay? And when you open it up, it's 28 inches like the one I'm showing you right now. When it's unfold now is 3 inches. I hope you're getting that. I have elastic band of 2 inches width like this I'm folding. And let's get to the machine. I will show you how I achieve this perfect keyhole. I'm gonna ahead and search the light inner facing. You can see how I'm stitching it like so. I'll stitch it this way, and when you get to this part, the point which I notched both sides, I'm not gonna stitch on that point, is where I curved it. I'm going to stitch my stitches and getting to the point where the 4 inches end. You have to lift the presser foot up and turn it like so and continue with the stitches for you to get the perfect. And next one we're going to do now is to notch around the neckline. And when I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and split out the keyhole shape. You can see how I split it open. Carefully do that, you will achieve a good result. The next one we're going to do now, I have to flip it over to the wrong part of this, okay, the wrong part of the dress, and I've done it already. You can see the wrong side. This is how I do that and give it a good press. I flip it over like so and give it a good press to achieve that. You can see the other back part of it. This is the wrong side. Flip it over and give it a good press and you achieve a good result. The next one we're going to do now is to join the two bodies together. The right side facing the right side. I want you to watch carefully for what I'm doing here. I flip the inner facing at the right part at the back part of it like so, and I use my pin to hold it. And when I'm done with that, using my pin to hold it, I have to take my stitches from this way, watch as I'm doing that, all the way down to the sleeve line, and that's it. You have to do it exactly the same thing to the other side. I want to explain to you better here. Watch carefully what I did. I flip it over to the back part of this and also use my pin to hold it very well and stitch it together with the sleeve. Relax well on your shoulder, okay, that is it. I'm going ahead and stitch the strap, okay, and turn it to the right part and give it a good press. Now it's time for you to stick the elastic using a safety pin to put it to stick it inside the casing. But doing that, the seam line, you have to hide it in between, just at the center. And I did the same thing to the other side as well. Next thing we're going to do now, you can see the wrong part of it, very neat finishing. I give it a good press. The next one we're going to do now is to join the both together. I want you to watch. I've gone ahead and secure this part, the elastic band, the two sides. You can see I double it to have more volume, like you're seeing now. Have to place it at the back part like so, at that extension. And when I'm done with that, I want to use carefully to to give you a detailed tutorial how you can do that. The next thing you're going to do now is to take the front part of it, the extension, and do what? And place like, okay, use the pin to hold it very well so it cannot shift as you're stitching that on your machine. And when you're done with that, go ahead and mark the side 1 inch seam allowance, and also I'm marking it at this part as well. I will explain to you the other part. Now the second part of it, the other side, I have to place the elastic band like so, and at this point I use my pin to hold it, marking my 1 inch seam allowance. And at this point where you get into the extension part, to reduce it to 0.5 inches and stitch all the way down. Stitch it like so and stop at this part. Continue with your 1 inch and go down to the full length of the gown, and we're done. This is the front bodice. You can see how beautiful it is. Looking at the front bodice, you can see the snatch effect of the elastic band, and here is the back bodice. Okay, when you look at the extension part of it, it joins to the elastic part and it's beautiful. We're almost done for this tutorial. Here I came up from the hemming part, slit opening of 20 inches length, and go ahead and hem the rest of it like so, and we are done for this tutorial. If you really found my tutorial helpful, please just give it a very big thumbs up, and I will see you on my next video. I'm still making handmade. Bye bye.